Martin has gotten to be too easy, so I am changing up a few things, and we are not going to be able to move pieces. So obviously, the title maybe is a little misleading. We can obviously move some pieces. It would be impossible to win without moving any pieces, but I'm going to limit myself, or at least try to limit myself, to 5 pieces. And if you see what I had highlighted here, the pieces I'm going to use for this first game to see what we can do are this e-pawn, which opens up, obviously, lots of things here. So I'm going to move my e-pawn, my queen, of course, my bishop, my knight, and my king. And I'm going to say that castling is a king move and not a rook move, even though the rook does move. I'm going to say the king moves over, picks him up, puts him on the other side. And then my king can move wherever. And I just think that's good for escaping checks in case we get that, or obviously castling. And maybe sometimes Martin will just sack his queen, something like this, right in front of the king, so I could just take it. So things like that. We're gonna go ahead and see if this is even possible. I honestly have no idea, but I'm just gonna go for getting all my pieces out and being very careful that we don't obviously hang anything. And I'm just gonna go straight for him on f7 and see what happens. I can only move these pieces really, so I really cannot lose them. That's imperative. Cannot be losing any pieces. Like if he comes and sacrifices his queen, that's a really good trade for him, honestly, which is not the norm. So I'm going to go ahead and castle, which is a move I can play. And there goes my pawn, which is already 1 piece down. However, I could go ahead and give this check. I just need to be a little bit careful if I do give this check, because if I play, let's say, bishop f7, obviously he's not going to take because that would be mate. He's going to bring his king down. So bishop f7, he brings his king down. Let's say I take here. Let's say he attacks my knight. I have to move it out of the way. I play something like knight c6. Then he can take my bishop, and I really don't like that. So maybe I don't want to play this, but maybe then I have some kind of check like this, and it's not so clear that he's going to be okay there. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the knight right away. We'll see what he plays. And Martin is just going to push a pawn here. He's got to be real careful, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll just take this rook. And Martin, see, this is why we made it so I can move the king. I will go ahead and I will take this bishop. That's why we did that. And now I'll just move my queen right back. Well, I will take this knight. I'm going to do it. I can get my, ooh, this is perfect. I can get my queen right back into the action just like that now that he made a little escape square. And it looks like we're going to have maybe some sort of sack here, maybe just a check. Obviously, okay, so let's see. If I give this check on g6, Martin moves down to e7. Then I have maybe something like this. And is that mate? Yeah, I believe so. So I'm looking at queen g6, king comes down to e7. Let's play knight c6, and then he's forced to take. Otherwise, it's checkmate anywhere else. And then I can bring my queen over. That's not mate because the bishop covers. So gotta be careful here. So maybe king would come down. I go up. Where is my mate? If I go up and he comes down this way, then he's kind of escaping. So maybe it's just not mate yet. So is there anything else I can do? I mean, I could just give this check, but that doesn't look great. Let's start with this check still. And then when he comes down, maybe I take this pawn. Because is there anything here? Man, how is there nothing? I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I mean, if we give this check and he goes back up, obviously there's something like this, and it's almost mate. So he's most likely going to come down to d6. And then I really don't have anything. I mean, I can give this check, but I don't want to get rid of all my pieces. So I'm going to just go ahead and give this check right here. And I don't want to trade queens, so I think I'm going to come right back. Actually, maybe this is even better. Setting up a discovered check, and I can... Ooh, this is especially good. Is there a mate here? Knight f7, king comes back. Well, the king could come forward. And then maybe there's some sort of check, and I maybe have something. I need to be a little bit careful. I'm glad I made it that I can move my king, so if I have just a king and a queen, we'll be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and give this check. It's a double check. He has to move the king. He does move it down. So I could just take the queen, or I can give this check. No, I'm just going to go ahead and take the queen. That leaves me a bishop still that I can move around, and I'm going to move that bishop around. And now I just have to checkmate with my queen, my bishop, and my king. I do need to be a little bit careful. I maybe shouldn't have taken that pawn because now Martin can, like, there's a line opened up to my king, and that might not be good, but I can always move my king, and if he takes my rook, I can take back, so shouldn't ever really be an issue. And especially now, it won't be an issue because I can take Martin's rook. And now I think we'll be a-okay. Let's just keep giving some checks. And then I need to find a way to deliver checkmate. So we're kind of wrapping around. Let's bring the king. We're not going to repeat. I guess I can give this check and just go get this bishop away from him. This is fine. Winning the bishop is more than fine. This is kind of cool. I can give this check, and even though I can't move my rook, Martin can't take my bishop because it's an illegal move because the rook technically defends it. So that's kind of cool. Let's just bring... I can lock out his king like this. This is actually very interesting. If I lock out his king, and then this is going to be checkmate, isn't it? It is. I thought he was going to play this. This would have been a cooler mate. I could have played, I don't even know what this is called, dovetails or something, but this looks like checkmate. His only escape square would be going to e6, and the bishop covers it, so there we are. That was definitely a little bit easier than I thought. Let me just make sure I didn't move any piece that I wasn't supposed to. I don't think I did, but, you know, there are... I have been known to mess up a challenge like that, potentially. Allegedly. Maybe I have a video on my channel called I Lied, where it's that exact thing. So pawn, bishop, knight, knight, queen, and king. And I shouldn't move anything else, so my rook should stay put the whole time, and the rest of these pawns should stay put the whole time, which they do. And that's mate. Awesome. Well, it looks like that was a much easier challenge than this other challenge that I'm working on that you guys will see. You've already seen part 1, and part 2 is coming out soon, and there will, spoilers, be a part 3. Quite rough one. Quite a rough one, I'm not gonna lie. But that one's on its way. I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave any more challenges you want me to do in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.